with their hands not out here, but they're sort of in as well inside this stick, but the club more behind their hands, okay? So it went back this way and came down this way. Hey golfers, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to share with you something that will massively help you out in your golf game. We're going to look at the club head, kind of angle of the face and position of the club head in the takeaway versus the downswing. And I think it's something that's really going to help a lot of you out. So before we get started with that, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you haven't done so already, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and go and check out other videos on my channel, as there's plenty there that can help you play better golf and enjoy this game a little bit more. Let's get started. So let's look at what the majority of tour pros do, okay? I say majority because somebody will jump into the comments and go, what about John Ram? But basically, we're going to look at what the majority does, and it is something that you can also achieve in your golf swing, okay? So we're looking at takeaway and what is called last parallel. So takeaway is when the club or the shaft gets to parallel to the ground, and last parallel is when the club comes down in the downswing and arrives again parallel to the ground, okay? We're going to spend some time looking at those two positions. I'm going to pull up some images on screen, and I want you to look at what the trend is, okay? We have a blue line. I'm going to try and reference the blue line a little bit with my alignment stick here in terms of where my hands and club position is. As they go back, we're going to see that the club gets into this position in the takeaway a little bit, varying degrees, some more, some less, but typically the club head will be a fraction outside the hands. That's this side, and this would be inside, okay? So we'll talk about the club face in a little second, but into this position in the takeaway. Now, as they come down into impact, they're going to arrive now with their hands not out here, but they're sort of in as well inside this stick, but the club more behind their hands, okay? So it went back this way and came down this way. So this is kind of a really good and interesting thing, because what do a lot of golfers do that I teach, and a lot of swings that, whether it's online or in person, a lot of golfers are going to get that club more behind them in the takeaway, only to return it more this way in the downswing with the club out. So kind of the opposite of what we want, and it's very difficult to play good golf from that position coming down. So we're going to look today at trying to get you into that takeaway, and then also learn how to ride it on up to the top and return back down into that bottom position, that last parallel, which is so important in the golf swing, because by the time your club arrives to here, from there to there, ain't a whole lot we can do about it. So we have to prep it in that position. Okay, guys, so let's get stuck into this. Let's start with the takeaway. I'm going to cover some club face as well, and I think it'll really help you out. So what I want you to do is I want you to use an alignment stick, okay? Now, I talked about the takeaway. I'm not going to make this an in-depth takeaway video. I have plenty of videos about that on my channel. But what I want to do is we're going to set up, we're going to use this stick as a reference. Get your ball positioned. If you're on a mat, it probably works better because you don't have to take divots and keep, hopefully a lot of you are taking divots and they're on the right side of the ball. If not, I have videos for that too. But we don't have to keep moving the ball around. We can set up one club head from the stick. And once that's set, that's fine. You leave the ball in the same position next time you're hitting your shot, okay? So one club head. Now everything on this side of the stick is in, and everything on this side of the stick is out. So let's cover the takeaway first. We want to get to a point parallel, remember shaft parallel to the ground, that the takeaway, the club head is a fraction on that outside, and the hands are more on this inside position, okay? Now, one thing I want you to check, I mentioned club face because it's very important for this. If we don't have that, we can't have all this other stuff. We do want the leading edge of the club matching our spine. If you do video yourself and you check this and you go, yep, you want to see that matching your spine. If not, feel the knuckles go down to the ground, just a fraction more. You can see that that's closing the face. We don't want to be in this takeaway position here with the club face pointing straight to the sky, or the toe to the sky. So if you need some of that, give it that little bit of knuckles down, and that'll close that face, okay? Pretty much, that'll help your takeaway as well, all right? Hands in, club out. Now, the really interesting bit, when we get to the top and come down then to this last parallel, that's when it gets exciting, because if we can go and say, right, there's my takeaway, There's my last parallel. What you find is all this other stuff tends to change as a result, and it comes along for free, which is really, really nice because you're not having to overthink it. So setting up, let's cover the position first that we want in this last parallel. So we've gone back here, we're checking, we're happy, we're going up, and now we're in a position where the hands are still on the inside, they're not out here. The club is a fraction behind. I'm going to exaggerate these just a little bit. And the club face is again matching my spine. If you notice that yours is more this way or this way, which can happen, we need to feel more knuckles turning down to the ground, okay? So into that position there is what we're trying to get to, okay? And what I would do is, without worrying about all of this, I would say, can I video my swing or do it in front of a mirror and go there, happy, top, happy, okay? Now, what is actually happening there from here, top to here? Well, you look at the club, it's actually starting to sort of, looks like a little loop, but what it's doing is it's shallowing, okay? And that is definitely something that we'll see all the greats do. I put a post up as one of those tracers of the club, and all of them will get to the top, and the kind of center of gravity of the club, this point, well, get it to balance here, will always kind of fall behind the hand, so it trails the hand, okay, the mass of the club. Bit technical, but let's get into our drill. So here, we're going 1, top, 2. Now, me personally, I have to feel as I make that move to get into this position with the club head behind my hands. I need to manage that face because I will tend to get a bit open here and quite flippy through the ball. So I'm very conscious as I make this that I'm getting that face turned down, okay? Now, we'll hit some balls in a second. There's so many good things that come from this drill, kind of subliminally by me, in terms of what do a lot of golfers do when they get to the top of the backswing? They get here, they rotate, club gets out. Now we've no chance of this position, and the club is too high, has to come down, cuts across the ball, steep contact. We could potentially, because it's steep, have to stand up. All of these different things. You'll notice I'm staying in posture as I do this drill. Now, when we kind of look at the backswing, it's a turn and also a lifting of the arms. Well, those arms have to get back down. So this is quite good because I'm getting you to feel more arms falling into that position, and we're not rotating yet. We're going to rotate from here. So it's not that way, because if you rotate there, you can't now get the club in there, and that's not what we want. Although that does look like some of the swings that we might see on Instagram at the minute. But let the arms fall into that position, okay? It's at the minute, it sounds quite a lot, but once you try it and you look for these positions, you'll see good here. They fall into that position, okay? Now, the cool thing is from here, what we can do is we can give a little pump, turn. If you're anything like me and you like to wear a good quality leather glove when you're playing golf, but don't fancy paying a high price tag for it only to fall apart in about 3 shots, well, go and check out my channel sponsors page, gxgolfgloves.com. Use code David at checkout and you'll save yourself a nice little bit of cash as well. And just kind of rotate and nudge a few golf balls out there. I want you to perfect the positions first before actually hitting any golf balls. Then stage 2 of the practice is going to be, right, can you get this set up again? So stage 2 of this would be, right, so 1 is there, check, down, check, and then back to the ball, little pump and hit. 2 will be, can you make it kind of one slow motion, okay? So here, that way. I've been very loose. There's no tension. I'm not trying to like yank the club down. I'm letting it fall. Because I've done the other bit and I'm confident with the positions that I can get into, then I know when I hit some easy shots, I have a better chance of replicating it. So here, we've kind of done that one motion through, loads of those, and then we'll try and build it up into full speed. That way. Now, the really fascinating thing is you will feel different things in, pardon me, I have a bit of a cold at the moment. you will feel different things in your body. I felt it there because I'm working on that position. My face is more closed than it typically is because it's usually open. I feel my body reacting differently. Your body will react to what this is doing, which is why this is such a fantastic drill for not only the takeaway, but also this last parallel. And you'll be amazed at the range of benefits that come from doing it. Okay, so thanks for sticking with me. Little tricky one today, a little bit technical. You might need to watch this a few times, get the views up. No, listen, I appreciate each and every one of you. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.